Welcome to the product overview for RiskFront, an easy-to-use tool for risk management and assessment. In this video, we will be covering how to create risk projects, identify and assess risks, and finally generate project reports for key stakeholders. Let's start by creating a new risk project. For this example, let's identify and assess risks related to occupational health and safety in an organization. To start with, let's change the name of our file to match the project we're creating. The appetite file determines the key criteria and risk matrix that we'll be using in our project. We will be using a predefined appetite file that is based on the ISO 31000 standard. RiskFront also allows you to create your own appetite files to suit projects in your organization, but that process will be covered in another video. Finally, there is a template file that we can use to pre-fill identified risks for common projects. With RiskFront, you can create your own template files from previous projects to be used again and again. For this example, we will be selecting a generic OH&S template. Next, let's click OK to start the project. With the project created, the first screen we see is the Activities screen. This highlights the recommended steps to go through in the risk management process. In project configuration, we can customize project options such as what fields should be displayed, ordering, and other project settings. The default settings should suffice for this example, so we'll leave it as is. Project details is where we can define the context and background of our project. We'll define the name of the project as Socket Software OH&S, and then copy and paste some details we've written earlier into the summary, description, and scope fields. There, and we're done. The next step is to add identified risks to the project. Let's add a couple of risks to the project. The grid allows multiple risks to be added at the same time with details such as the reference ID, for a short and easy way to refer to individual risks, stage, which is when in the project or life cycle the risk should be considered, source, the origin of this risk, impact area, what will be affected consequently, and finally a short bit of text to describe the risk. Enter by typing in the grid and tabbing along to the next column. RiskFront will shade in risk to confirm that all information has been entered correctly. Once the risks have been entered, click OK to add them to the project. You can search for risks in the project with the search form on the left. Just clicking search without any criteria returns all risks entered into the register. As you can see, this has returned the two risks we just added, as well as the risks that came with the OH&S template that we applied to this project. We can use the search to filter risks to those that we entered earlier that match the reference ID. Clicking on a risk item in the grid will display the details about that risk, starting with the information that we entered earlier. Let's perform a quick risk assessment on this risk item. Bear in mind that an assessment, treatment, and reassessment process will normally be conducted over an extended period. To start, we'll click the Assessment tab. Here we can define the values for criteria established in the risk appetite we chose for this project. In this simple example, we have a rating for likelihood and consequence for this risk. Specifying a value for these will determine the risk level based on the appetite risk matrix. From this risk level, we can decide to accept the risk or agree that it requires treatment. We can also enter notes to justify our reasoning for the assessment. The next step is to recommend treatment options to mitigate this risk. Here we specify what treatment options we have considered. Click on the Edit link to view preset treatment options available or add your own. Adding a treatment option makes it available for use against all risks in the project. Treatments can be moved between chosen and other to distinguish options that were considered but may not be applicable in the end. As with the assessment section, justification and documentation around treatment can be added in the text area. The person responsible for carrying out this treatment can also be specified, as well as a schedule for completion if applicable. Once the treatment has been carried out, then it can be marked as complete. Further documentation detailing the treatment plan can also be attached to the risk by clicking the Add button. After completing a treatment, you may perform a reassessment of the risk. The same criteria we set before is available once again. This now shows the change in risk level from the original assessment, which in this case is from moderate to low. All changes that are made against a risk item are logged and available in the History tab for audit purposes. The risk management process will involve multiple cycles of identifying, assessing, treating, and reassessing risk against a project. Through this process, it is important to keep key stakeholders informed of the health of the project and how risk is being managed. RiskFront makes it easy to export the detail entered into the risk register through custom reports. As an example, let's have a look at the project summary report. This includes a breakdown of the project context, as well as a count of identified risks in different stages and various states of treatment and assessment. For more detail, a risk item summary report can be generated, including only the risks that are pertinent. Finally, there may be projects where privacy or security is a concern. RiskFront allows you to lock down a project file with a password to prevent unauthorized access or modifications to the file. That concludes our video demonstration of the RiskFront application. We hope that you can see how easy it is to manage risks in different stages of your project with this tool. For more information and project templates, please visit riskfront.com. Thanks for watching.